Hello and welcome to the first edition of, we're not actually sure what this podcast is called yet.
To be honest.
Yeah,
TBH.
that sounds good to me. If you're watching, hopefully there's going to be another 3 at least following this, and I'm fucking super pumped.
Like, excited.
We've had this idea in the pipeline for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much, man, do you remember on Nauru, you're like, wait, check this out, bro. We were like chilling one day, and it was a Joe Rogan podcast.
And I think you got it into Joe Rogan because you told me you had like a continual night terror that you were having over and over and over again. And I was like, man, I just listened to this on some podcast. Like, just you should have a go at it, man. Like Joe Rogan, he talks to this guy about why you have reoccurring nightmares.
I remember watching this podcast, and it was something like that, like about night terrors and like
sleep paralysis.
Yeah, sleep paralysis. So typical me, I did a bit more research.
Yeah.
And but yeah, ever since then, like podcasts, I'm like, that is something that I want to do. Like, that'd be sick. So yeah, welcome to the first episode.
Hopefully we're entertaining enough for some easy listening at least.
I mean, my mum might watch it or listen to it, so that's good.
Yeah.
That'll be good for me. But anyway, I'm Wooly.
I'm Jake. Just two average blokes.
Talking shit.
Yeah. We met just after high school. We actually met through mutual friends and found out we were both going to TAFE in the same semester. So we're both auto electricians by trade. And just so happened that I think it was third year block.
That was a second year block.
Second year block, yeah.
I vividly remember this night. I was at an ex-girlfriend's house, and I remember we were having drinks or something, and this cheeky little, like, slick-haired looking skinny bloke rocks up, and my initial reaction is, who the fuck's this motherfucker? Like, what's this bloke about? And I think, like,
the quiff.
like, he had some alfalfa shit going on or something, I don't know. But I remember, like, one of the first, I think it was like the second word was like, "Oi, bro, do you play COD?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I play COD, bro." Of
course. Who doesn't, right?
I'm like, Xbox, like, hey, of course. And first game, and this bloke's popping off, and I'm here like potato two thumbs trying to like figure out what the actual F I'm doing. And the rest is history, bro. Like, went down to TAFE, had a mad time at TAFE.
Yeah, that was good. Don't know how we passed, but
I remember we had all these plans, like, we'll shoot basketball hoops every day, and like we'll go on
get
runs.
In the gym,
and we literally played Xbox for like 12 hours a night. TAFE for 8 hours, and I think there was a bit of sleep in there somewhere, but
it was minimal.
It was optimal gaming and enjoyment.
Yeah, I feel like that's the time though, right? Like, that's the time in your life where like you've got that time to get stuck into gaming, and like if you're going to make anything of it, right, surely that's like the age demographic where like you've got the most amount of free time with like no responsibilities, right?
100%, man.
Like if you're going to pursue like a professional gaming career, like that's your golden years. I struggle to keep up now with like fast twitch shooters and stuff like that, trying to keep up with, I know I'm probably getting beaten by kids but like there's not much you can do about it. Like,
yeah, there's just some like cheeky 10-year-old out there that's just just domed you, and you're just that used to be me.
Yeah,
I mean, much. We got pretty good with it. Like, we were playing some, like, I wouldn't call it professional because we weren't getting paid, but
gaming,
like we were good with it. Like, we had shit going on.
Yeah, it was right before, like, there was no streaming or anything back then though, right? There was
it was pre-Twitch, YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube, you might get like a Modern Warfare, like a montage of snipes from FaZe. Like, that was like the big time if you were going to play games. Like, there was no real career path. But I mean, now the opportunities are pretty endless for kids. Like, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. Like, I feel like being born today would be cool. Like, and being interested in the shit they were interested in.
But see, you'd want to have the knowledge you got now, and that's
it's a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. You get caught up.
Anyway, we didn't come here to talk about gaming.
Nah, that's another time we can
talk
about gaming.
There'll be plenty of that. There'll be plenty of that. No, like, my vision for the podcast was to have like an unofficial guidebook for 20-year-olds. Like, I don't feel like school prepared me enough for what the real world was going to be. Like I'm not knocking the school system, because there's shit that you got to learn. Like, you need to learn how to add 2 and 2 together, and times it by 2, and that's about all I remember. But there's like, you don't get taught how to be a human being.
No, they don't teach you how to go to the post office. That blew me away, man. Like, when Ash and I, my partner, first started seeing each other, she was at university, extremely smart girl, but she'd never posted a letter before. And like, she had to send something back that she'd ordered online, and I had to take her to the post office to show her how to do it.
Okay, hang on. Let's rewind about 10 seconds. She didn't know how to post a letter. Like, no. Did she know the concept? Like, did she know there was a place? Yeah, she knew the concept, right? Yeah, she knew that there was a post office. But like, how do you like, you got to get a bag? Like, do you get express? Like, she had no idea where to put it. Like, she just never done it before, right? She'd never had to. Just for the record, we do love Ashy T. That's blowing my mind.
Yeah, my future wife.
Ooh, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do got to touch on that. My man here just came back from South America and is now a fiance.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, man.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bud. It's
I'll get up and hug you, but I don't want to fuck with the video.
Yeah, mess up the mics. It's a weird thing to like. It's kind of nice though, right? Like, we've been together for so long now that it's nice for when people like ask me, "Oh, that's my fiance." Like,
yeah,
you know, like,
there's
it's
like
not just like a girlfriend, you know.
There's like I want to say stamp, but like, there's just like a, you know, it's set in concrete. There's a nice foundation there.
Yeah, it's nice to take it to that next step. So, super pumped on getting the wedding organised and
very cool. Also, very honoured to be invited into your inner circle.
Yeah, and the bridal party, mate. Yeah, select few.
Thank you.
That's right, mate.
Pretty keen.
Yeah,
I don't like the pressure of having to organise a bucks party.
Look, I think it'd be pretty minimal.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun, man. Like, the best fun we've ever had, and you know, all our friends will concur, is that just hanging out and
that's it, man.
Just running our mouths in the back of a shed, you know, playing some ping pong, and
talking
that's,
shit.
That's a good time, eh?
Yeah, that's
you don't need much more. A few good mates, and
nah, that's it, bro. You got a good tight little circle, man. That's all you need. It's just good company. I got a couple of things for you too, like what's it like being sober, man? How long have you been sober now?
I was wondering if you're gonna ask this.
Yeah.
So 9th of June was, like, I don't exactly know how long, but that was the day where I was sober, and I'd made a decision. I met a guy through work, and he'd been 520 something days sober. He was probably late 30s, early 40s. It just really blew me mind. He sent me a link. I clicked on it, and it was this dude talking for like 3 hours. He'd been sober for like 22 years, and just the way he spoke and everything, it was just, I was like, that's what I would sort of want.
Super articulated.
Just sure of himself and confident, and you know, like I was. It's a tricky thing. I've been sober almost 5 months. Yeah. So 9th of December will be 6 months, which just so happens to be my birthday as well.
Yeah, nice.
So I kind of timed that pretty well.
Yeah.
But literally, man, it's literally been one day at a time.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not looking to the future, and you know, people ask me like, "Oh, so do you think you'll ever have a drink again?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, but today I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?" So
that's a good outlook, man. That's a real good outlook.
It just makes it really easy, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what I was like. Like, I was a pretty wild sort of guy. Like, I've done some wild shit, but you know, I didn't want that to define me or who I was. Yeah. So this is just a new chapter in my life, and it's been awesome, bro. Like, and I like, nothing's really changed, I don't think. Like,
nah, definitely not.
Like, we've still had heaps of fun, and
still have good nights out. Doesn't mean you can't just have a coffee and have a good time, hang out with friends. Like, it doesn't change the company, right?
No, like, we went to that food and wine day a few months ago, and we were walking around with coffees and shit, and we were having a great time. Yeah. And I didn't wake up with a hangover, so
yeah, that's good, man. It's good.
It's been a good step, man. It's just been a compounding thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, like, it's just one of those choices that you came to, like, after going through your 20s, though, right? Like, you know, you had those ups and those downs with, you know, alcohol and you know, going out and partying, and you know, you do those things when you're in your 20s, right? Like, it's what everyone does. So.
Oh man, I highly recommend get out there, go definitely. Have some fun, like, go get drunk.
Yeah.
Go get drunk AF and just have a good time, but just know that it's not the be all end all. Yeah,
it's not something that you can use to detract yourself from the rest of your life, right?
Nah. profound thing I came to realize was that the like what would you say the opposite of addiction is? It's connection.
Yeah, right.
So like I was addicted to many things, and then I just realized all I was chasing was like a connection with other people, connection with myself, and alcohol and drugs and the rest of it was just a void I was using to fill.
Yeah.
That's basically it, man. So I just going early 20s, man. If you got a good group of friends, you're already halfway there as far as I'm concerned.
That's it, man. And like you don't realize when you're at school, right? They may be your friends for the rest of your life, but 9 times out of 10, like you just lucked into being in the same place as those people, right? Like, and you just have some common interest and there's no way, shape or form that defines anything about being best friends with those people for the rest of your life. I don't even know what half the people that I went to school with are doing these days. Like, it's without social media and like, I'm not a massive one for Facebook. Like I don't have a connection with those people anymore. So having that core group of friends when you leave school that, can support you and want to promote you to be a better person as you get older too is so important.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
You just don't realise it. Like, I'd never realised it when I went to school. I just sort of thought, these will be my mates forever and, nothing's going to change. We're going to go to schoolies, then we're all going to get jobs and we're going to hang out and it's just not realistic, right? Like,
yeah, that's right. It's not a realistic output. But like, man, that makes me think like, you think back 20, 30 years before social media, before phones even really, like literally going to a wall, picking up a phone to call someone, you probably only had a really small group of like close friends that you keep in contact with, because how many people have moved down to Brisbane or, moved interstate, moved overseas, like people and stuff, but like you can be in contact with them now, but you're not getting that physical, like I'm not talking like physical contact, but like physical
face to face.
Like real connection. And but we've got friends that live in Brisbane that we do have good contact with, and
definitely.
Like Timmy and Reese and all them boys, like
I mean that's one of the beauties of gaming though, right? Like
100%.
You still get to keep those common interests, and the amount of times we play games, and it's never really about the games though. It's just about hanging out with friends and having that
the game's the cherry on top.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a nice way to put it. But I think one thing people don't realize, like people try to have really big circle groups of friends and stuff, and that blows my mind these days. Like I don't like, cool if that works for you and stuff, but I don't like see the real connection there.
Yeah, it requires a lot of energy, right? Like the energy that you have is only a certain amount, right, that you can give out. Like there's only a certain amount of love that each person can give out. Some people have more love to give, right? Some people just have
like
less.
A deeper well.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Yeah. So like sending that message to catch up with a friend, like that takes energy, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So like you have a big circle of friends. Me personally, like I don't have that kind of energy to make that effort, right? Like I like my small group of friends because, it doesn't take that much energy. Like I know it sounds, I don't know, it's sort of odd to think about, but like I don't have the energy to put out fake shit for people that like don't have the best interest for me as well. Yeah. So
plus you don't want to be people picking up the fake shit you're putting down.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to force it and seem fake as well. Like
how many times you get those messages or you bump into that person and it's like, oh, we should really catch up, and like both people say it, but what you're both really saying is like I'm glad you're doing okay and it's good to see you.
But I don't have the energy.
Yeah, I don't. I physically don't have the energy.
Yeah,
But no, man, I consider like I feel grateful that like our group of friends, and like we got a solid group. Yeah, it's a good bunch, man. Like some of the stuff we've been through it's been hard, but it's been made easier. Just having good people around me.
Yeah, I got some mates with their heads screwed on a little bit more so than us.
Yeah.
But I mean, from the outside looking in, that's the other thing you got to not get caught up in your 20s though, right? Is not trying to chase that carrot and trying to be, trying to get that house or get that promotion. Like you got to kind of enjoy your 20s. Like it's a snapshot in your life, right? Like it's a very short time. You only feel like you hit 18 and then before you know it, you're nearly 30, right? Like I'm 27 to 28 in 6 months, and like,
well, that's it. You just spent the last 12 years just wanting to be an adult and for life to hurry up, and then it feels like it takes 12 years and then it hurries up.
Yeah, it hits you real quick, real fast.
I'm 29 in a month's time, and that's kind of a scary thought.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the older I seem to get, the more this outside pressure that I thought was perceived on myself is just being shed away, and I'm realizing that it was just all me. Yeah. It's just all this pressure about, I need to have this, I need to do this, I should be having this by now, you know. Man, Hilltop Hood song, like, should have money in the bank by now, you know, I should have a house, I should have all this stuff, and then, you know, 12 months ago, I'm starting from scratch again, and I'm like, what have I done wrong? And it's, who's the one outside judging me? It's myself.
Yeah, exactly. It's never anyone else.
Like, I've just literally put a mirror in front of myself, and I'm just like, you should have had this by now.
Yeah. I mean, you grow up with all these fake ideals through school though, right? Like, you get forced into a job or to university. Like, there's no real reason to have to go to university as soon as you finish school, or have to start work as soon as you finish school. Like, we're sort of lucky in our generation. Like, there's so many ways that you can make money. Like, if you really love something and you, like, that's what you want to pursue, like, there's no reason why you can't do it. If you've got a half decent education from schooling and you gave school a reasonable crack, you know, there's nothing to say that you can't do what you want to do.
100%, bro.
So
yeah, like that's one thing. Like, how did you decide, you know, to become the Auto Spark? Like, what steps were involved in you choosing that?
Well, like, my dad had always raced speedway. My granddad had always raced speedway. They were right into motor cars and racing, that sort of stuff. So I spent a lot of quality time with my dad when I was young, working on cars, like, you know, helping him in the shed and handing him tools when I was, you know, when I was a little fella walking around. Like, that's sort of what I wanted to do. Like, I thought, you know, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit to, you know, dad would want me to do this too, you know, like, there's a little bit of expectation there that, you know, dad's pretty handy. Like,
man, you want to make dad proud.
Yeah, exactly. You always want to make dad proud. That's
the normal son expectation.
Yeah. So I remember saying to him one day, like, I want to work on cars, and he said, don't be a mechanic. You can do better. He's like, why don't you try something like an auto electrician?
Because mechanics are dead shit, right?
Nah, I know some great mechanics out there.
Sorry, Robbie. Our little mate Robbie's off screen here, just having a little chuckle to himself.
Yeah. So, and I did some work experience.
Actually, in school?
Hey?
Work experience in school?
Yeah, so grade 10, I did some work experience with North Jacqueline, which is our Nissan dealer. Also did some with an air conditioning company that's no longer open, and another auto electrical company in town. And it was just in school holidays when I was in grade 10.
Okay.
And
so you were pretty set out, you know, like, you know, you get asked that question, like, what do you want to do when you're older? You had that answer pretty down pat, that you sort of felt?
Yeah, I sort of felt like I was going the right way about it. Like,
yeah,
you know, I'm gonna go to school-based apprenticeship. That was my aim.
Yeah.
So when I finish school, I'm straight into my apprenticeship. I'm gonna smash it out and be the best auto electrician that I could be. You know.
So 10 years later, how, like, have your goalposts sort of changed as to, like, reasons why, you know, like, obviously you still like your job, you know, you're still doing it.
I mean, definitely, like, I still enjoy what I do, and I still love the trade. Obviously now, so I'm off the tools more so now, right? So I'm in the office, so it's a little bit less of like that kinesthetic learning where, like, you get that kick out of fixing something because you're doing it with your hands.
Yeah,
like,
that was your dopamine hit, eh? Like, I fixed that. Fuck yeah. Like,
like someone brings in a car and they've taken it to 3 other workshops and they can't fix what's wrong with it, and I'm like, oh, I think it might be this.
Yeah.
And, you know, you fix it and it just gives you like that real good, like dopamine kick, right? Obviously I don't get as much of that being in the office now, but I still enjoy my job, and that job's kind of helped me progress to a place where I want to be to pursue a more professional career as more so, I wouldn't say a businessman, but, you know, trying to be more intelligent, right? I'm always trying to learn, like,
yeah.
So there's only like there's a skill gap when it comes to auto electricians, and, you know, we've worked in some pretty remote places. We've done some weird and wonderful things.
Yeah.
You know, that it's been a good ride. Like, I've had fun and learned a lot of stuff along the way. There's obviously still more that I could be learning every day if I was still on the tools.
100%.
But yeah, just trying something different, man. Yeah, I feel like I'm lucky in the position where I'm in. I'm getting to learn to run a business, working for somebody else. So I'm still getting paid. It's no money off my back. I'm not having to fork out to, you know, to learn. So
Was it a big step outside of your comfort zone, like slipping into a role like that?
I mean, not so much, because I was already doing like a leading hand position beforehand. So I still dealt with customers on the odd occasion and made phone calls when it was required, and dealt with customers before. So like I'd had plenty of customer service. So essentially what I'm doing now is a customer service buffer, but between the public and the tradesmen. So
yeah.
like we had the downturn in our town because of the mining crash, and I worked in a bar for what would have been 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I loved it, right? Like I got to deal with people, just it was good for my customer service skills and that sort of stuff too. Like it wasn't time wasted.
Yeah.
It didn't set me back at all.
Now, this is going back on what you're saying about giving out your energy and stuff. Is that a huge toll on your energy? Having to
for sure,
because like you don't want to be the energy you spend with your friends and family is obviously I guess different to what you would the customer, but you can't be a straight up arsehole to their face, but at the same time you got to make them like you but give you money.
Exactly right. Yeah,
like that takes a certain kind of skill, I think.
It takes a certain kind of energy too, right? Like it definitely takes a toll. Like I hear what you're saying. There is days where I'm drained, where I have customers in that do require more energy than others, but I mean, it's similar to most jobs. Like every day you're gonna, unless you're sole proprietary working for yourself and you have a complete disconnect, like you're a computer programmer or something like that, right? Even then you're still doing projects with people, but even any workforce, you're always going to have people that you're going to need to expend that energy on, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be draining regardless. It's just sometimes I might get a worse customer than usual and they might just drain a little bit more.
Yeah. We all hear about them days.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, man, it was I guess, I mean, I consider you kind of lucky, man. Like you're doing something that you love.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a long time, what I consider a long time, like you've stuck with one career from start to finish. When I was
15, I started.
Yeah. Like how old are you now? 26?
27.
27, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
12
crazy,
years
man.
in the
like,
industry is a long time, yeah.
People don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Well, you're the prime example, right? Like you're doing something completely different now.
But see, that's the thing. Like my school experience was a lot different. Where like I had this kind of outside pressure of I'm going to go to university, and that was just expected of me. But I'm kind of I don't think too far ahead with anything. Like like I knew I was going to go to university and do something. I did that for about 4 weeks and quickly realised that I don't want to do this for another 6 years. I just had 12 years of being told what to do and just put my head in a book. And so I kind of fell into the trade by accident.
Yeah.
So I never really had that passion there that, that you shared, and, that became pretty evident.
So it was just a job for you, right?
Yeah, it's a job, not a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I jumped on my car the other day to do a little bit of repairs and, just keep my finger on the pulse a bit.
Yeah. Did you like it?
No, I hated every second of it. I was like, man, I'd rather pay someone to do this.
Yeah.
Let's get real, But it's good to know I've got those skills there. People always say, I've always got that to fall back on, and I'm like, yeah, but that's
it's last resort, right?
Man, I'll go live on the street before I go touch tools again, I think.
Yeah.
But I fell into the job act, and I was very grateful to be given the opportunity to do it. Like I was making stupid money for an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like I won't get into particulars, but like I was comfortable.
Yeah.
I had nothing to show for it, but like we were comfortable.
Yeah.
It was a comfortable time. So one thing, like, just I thought, and I was stuck in that mindset too, because like our parents are both pretty old school, and it's like, you pick a job and you stick with it, and whether you like it or not. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but I just don't feel like that's the case anymore. Like, if you don't like something about what's happening in your life, you can literally change it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
If it takes a bit of pain.
Yeah, temporary pain.
But that's fine, man. Like, pain's good, suffering's optional. Like, you don't have to suffer through the pain. You go to the gym to work out, you're in pain. It's literally the process just doesn't change.
Yeah, that's it, man. There's only one way to grow.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it was more a means to an end for me. So
yeah.
But I like what I'm doing now, driving trains now, and like my goalposts have shifted.
Yeah.
you know, like I want to start doing stuff like this, you know,
Yeah.
hence the podcast and all the crazy equipment and big red dildo shaped microphone I've got in my face, you know, trying to get used to that, you know, stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I think that's what 20s is about, man, is just discovering things you like by doing a whole heap of shit that you don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean, man? Like, man, I've tried every hobby under the sun, you know, like I'll go, you know, we'll go kick a soccer ball around. Okay, I've got 2 left feet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm going to
play basketball for a while too.
Yeah, I'm going to go play some basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm not James Harden. You know, I can't be doing those step back threes or nothing, but, you know, I'll have some fun, man.
Yeah.
You know, but pick up some games. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty good at a bit of gaming. I'll stick with that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, started making some videos and,
Yeah.
man, like, got a couple hundred views. Like, man, that's cool.
You looking to put some more gaming content on the channel, or?
Yeah, so I think the podcast sort of, you know, like, again with that like whole real connection thing, like the thing I have, like, you know, I'm very particular about what I watch on YouTube. You know, I don't like the egotistical, you know, gaming and stuff. And I think, you know, like that, it's a little bit of a culture in the gaming industry, and you know, it sort of stems from, you know, like these guys, you know, like we're the outsiders, you know, like the freaks. So like you sort of get that, you know, and they get big, and it's sort of, you
make big money.
Yeah, man.
Like real
I
good
don't
money.
know.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into what kind of money and stuff they make, but it'd be insane. Like, you know, you're giving 20-year-old kids, you know, millions of dollars. You know, that
seems mind blowing, right?
Yeah.
But then you look at the NBA, it's the same thing though, right? You got these 18-year-old kids, Zion Williamson, coming out of high school, and he did his freshman year. That's it. He's straight into the NBA, and he's on what, like 13? I don't know the exact numbers, but it's upwards of 10 million a year.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Like, what do you do with that money when you're that old?
Oh, man, if you're smart, nothing. Just keep playing the game, man. Like, you know, you only got to look at someone like Ben Simmons, man, like buying all the cars and stuff. And
too many cars, bro.
I'm sure he can afford it, but
yeah, for sure.
You hear the stories, and it's like, it's not a sustainable thing, you know.
That's probably one thing I wish that we learned more in school, though, right? Was financial management,
like the value of things.
Yeah, you don't sort of realize when you're young, though, right? If you got parents that are fairly well off, which you and I are both lucky enough to have, you don't sort of have as much of a appreciation for value. You know, you see these things that we have, and you just think it's the norm, but it's really not. Yeah.
So my parents always made it a big deal to point out, you know, that like, you know, we're pretty fortunate, and this isn't normal, or what, you know, what society would call normal. So,
but until you got to go out and work for it yourself, like you just don't. It's hard to comprehend.
Like, I've had some rough weeks where I'm scraping my pennies together, and you know, like I don't want to, you know, up until like really recently when I was in a real big rut, you know, I'd never ever asked my parents for help, but like they offered a lot. Like they were so generous with their time and, you know, their resources to give me a good life, but I don't feel like they overstepped that boundary of, you know, giving me too much. You know what I mean? Like, like they might have a different opinion. I don't know, but you know, like they set a good groundwork and morals of what I think's right and wrong, and you know,
for sure.
That goes back to professional athletes, man. Like if they've got a good moral framework to their life, like you can give someone $1 or $100 million, man, and they'll put that to good use. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So I mean, it works on every scale. Like, you know, you were telling me earlier today, like you're so keen that your holiday is over. Like, it was so good to go over there, but what were you saying?
It's just nice to start contributing back to it. So we spent a lot of money going over. It's like we do a lot of traveling, right? So a lot of our money goes towards traveling, and some of the experiences that we have, like I wouldn't trade them in for any amount of money. You know, like we spent a night at some 60-something-year-old lady's house in the middle of an island, in the middle of a lake that borders on Peru and Bolivia. It's called Lake Titicaca. You can look it up.
Lake Titicaca.
Yeah, man. Like we stayed in a little mud shack, and we just slept the night there, and she cooked us breakfast. We helped her pick potatoes. You know, we played volleyball with all the locals that lived on the island.
Oh, awesome. What an experience, man. That's
crazy. Like it was just something that, like, there's no power. Like, they don't have electricity. They have solar panels and some batteries for some lights, but everything's pretty rudimentary, you know, rudimentary. So like those kind of experiences, like you can't get that. Like
yeah, you can't even put a price tag on stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
exactly.
hey?
Right. Like that's the thing. You
like,
can't.
obviously it costs money, and that's almost like the downside of it. But you know, it's one of the necessary things in this society, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but man, what was it like waking up and just like, did you ever get that? You know, when you wake up and you're like where am I? Like, I'm in some old lady's place on Lake Titicaca, like.
Yeah, we actually had the door blow open in the middle of the night, and Ashley like shit herself. She's like, the demons are coming to get us. No, but there was one
Demon
night
of Lake Titicaca.
yeah, there was one night that I had a really vivid dream that I was back home with a work colleague talking to him about my trip, and we'd only been halfway through the trip at this stage. And I was explaining to him about the trip, and he asked me how much Upichi was, and we hadn't actually been there yet. And it just spun me for a worldie. Like, I had no idea. Like, I woke up and I was in a tent, and it was dark, and it was freezing cold. I had no idea what was going on.
Oh my God.
But, you know, he's come back to reality, but it was just a bit odd. Majority of the back end of our trip was all at altitude, so your brain's constantly starving for oxygen. So you sort of have weird dreams and I had a fair few deja vus and stuff like that when we were over there.
Right.
Yeah, like it was.
Oh man, you're talking straight to my heart right now.
Yeah, like it was just a kind of euphoric like place to be, and yeah, I'd 100% recommend it. Like in your 20s, best time to travel.
Yeah, man.
I'm lucky enough that I've got a partner and she's, you know, makes a good money because she's intelligent and she worked hard to get where she is. And, you know, we're lucky enough
the biggest suck up getting around. This is just brownie points.
Oh, no. She deserves everything, that girl.
100%. Yeah, she's a good girl.
Yeah, we're just lucky enough that we got to travel heaps through our 20s, and I 100% recommend it to anyone, man. Like, if you buy a house in your 30s, you buy a house in your 30s, right?
Yeah.
People are 40, 50 years old that still don't own a house, so what's the rush to get into debt? I mean, go enjoy your 20s, go have some fun, go see the world. Realize, like, we're in Australia, we're pretty lucky, right? Our streets are clean, you know, we've got good sewage, the place doesn't stink. You
don't got to worry about someone busting through your door in the middle of the night, you know, no demons of Lake Titicaca coming to get you in the night. Like, we got it good, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. So
I don't feel like there's nothing you can do in your 20s, you know, without going to any extreme that you can do wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, go to jail.
Yeah, like, you kill someone, you know, you do some dodgy shit, you go to jail. That's okay.
That's not what we mean, but
no, like you can't like if you're half thinking about going to do something, go and do it.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a big holiday, you know. Whether it's going to go catch up with that person you were meant to go catch up, go do it. Like, you know, you want to go try some new recipe for fucking steak or some shit. Like, go do it. Any like little gut feeling you get, follow that gut feeling. 'Cause it'll take you to some good places.
That's it.
Don't look too much into it, you know.
You don't have to have everything figured out, right?
Nah, I don't got shit figured out.
I don't think anyone does, man.
Nah, like if anyone's got the answer, feel free to like get in contact with us and let us know.
Yeah, leave some comments. Let us know what.
Like that was man, go out and do it.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, what's something that you want to go out and do now, man? Like, it doesn't have to, you know, like, yeah, we've lived our 20s, but like, man, I'm keen for the 30s now. Yeah. Even thinking about it. Like, I'm a little bit scared, but I'm keen.
I'm keen to have some children, man.
You're keen to have some kiddies?
Yeah, that's right up there, bro. Have raising my own little person. Like, that's got to be like number one on the list.
Yeah, I feel the same, man. Like, that was one of my that was one of the things I really wanted when, like, even through my teens. Like, I don't know why I've just had that, and like, obviously it hasn't happened yet, but you know, I feel like that was a lesson in itself. You know, like, I was pretty hung up on about it for a long time. About, you know, like, I really want something that I really wanted through my childhood, and you know, it never happening. Yeah. You know, and like, almost got too hung up on the idea of it instead of
trying to force the
point, like, just enjoy shit, and it'll you know, don't get too narrow-minded. You know, it's almost what's that movie, Yes Man? I feel like
Jim Carrey.
I feel like from 18 to 30, you should just be a yes man. Yeah. Like, you want to come on this weekend trip away? Oh, nah, man, I gotta save for you know, doing this. Nah, I'd rather just stay at home and do nothing. Like, nah, man, go and do it.
It's amazing how many people do that, though, right?
I think we're all guilty of it, eh?
I mean, I'm busy, right? I'm busy, but I'm sitting on the couch watching Netflix.
Some good shit on. Bro, you know what? I cancel my Netflix, right? Because I don't... Like,
you cancel Netflix?
I cancelled Netflix the other day for like the 4th time.
Yeah.
Scrolled through, nothing on it. And I've been watching. I hate to say, I probably watch about 50 hours of YouTube a week now.
Yeah. YouTube. Some of the quality of shows that are on YouTube these days, they're better than some Netflix specials, right? Like, there's some big budgets on YouTube. There's some serious people like making good content on YouTube, and there's great stuff for whatever demographic you're into. Like, you can go down the rabbit hole and whatever you want. You pick a subject.
Man, I'm like, it's one of the most dangerous things laying in bed. It's like, just one more video. Yeah. Man, you wake up like 3 hours of sleep and like, holy shit, I regret watching that show about, some weird stuff.
Giant sea otters eating piranhas.
Yeah, man, that sounds pretty cool. If you typed in a video of YouTube, giant sea otters eating piranhas, you'd probably find it.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
out there.
I've got photos of it, right?
But anyway, so I cancelled Netflix, and the strangest thing happened. So I still get it for another month.
Yeah.
New shows have been popping up on my Netflix feed, and they've been sending me emails like, hey, this is something new you might like.
Yeah, right.
And then I talk to other people, and they're like, bro, that's been on there for months. And I'm like, is Netflix hiding shit from me? Like, just drip feeding me like little bits of like a video? Because like, unless you search for, like all that recommended stuff.
It's a big library, man. It's a massive library of stuff.
Like, I want that library at my fingertips sometimes. Like, I feel like it used to be like that, and maybe it was too much for some people, and they've condensed it.
Yeah, I mean, you go through like subgenres, and they'll show like the same 10 things for like 6 different subgenres, and it's like all the same shows, right? Like, I've found that a lot with Netflix. It is hard to find stuff.
Like, I love my sci-fi shit, but I've just been overwhelmed with it now. Like, and 90% of sci-fi documentaries and videos are hot trash, right? Yeah. So my whole library is just 90% hot trash.
Yeah.
And I've cancelled my Netflix, and it's not hot trash anymore. So I'm thinking about resubbing, man. Hey, like,
enjoying it now.
Have you got a spare spot on your Netflix?
Yeah, we probably do. We probably do, man. Yeah.
I've got a few people leeching off mine at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like that possum meme with like 6 possums hanging off the back or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, we definitely got some spare screens. We'll hook you up.
Nice, yeah. I'm on that like $20 a month or whatever is the unlimited screens, 4K. Yeah. Oh man, how good is 4K?
Yeah,
oh my goodness, man! I remember when you showed me 4K for the first time. I was like a newborn opening my eyes for the first time. Like, what am I experiencing?
It's like you've been blind your whole life, and someone just put a real perfect pair of glasses on.
It's a whole new world. It's like one of them ones. Is Rob asleep over there?
Rob's having a nappy nap.
Hey Rob, how you doing, man? You good with it? That's good, man. Having fun? I'm having fun. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot in here, but...
Yeah, it is a bit toasty. Got to sort out some AC for the next time.
Yeah. Any good electricians out there, hit us up. This aircon's been busted for about 4 years.
Is it just a PCB that's cooked on the aircon unit, or...?
Nah, bro. So I got solar fitted to the roof the other day, and I looked outside. Oh, the guy approached me and was like, hey, Brian, you realise you've got like exposed electrical wiring on your AC unit out there? And I'm like, yeah, it's been like that for quite a while. Yeah. It's like, that's probably what's wrong with it. I'm like,
it's not live though, is it?
I haven't grabbed it to test it.
Put your hand on backwards just so that if you lock up. Yeah.
No, well, like nothing's tripped in the board, and it's rained a fair bit since then. Yeah. So I'd imagine something's broken somewhere. But yeah, it's not tripping anymore. Or maybe, I don't know.
Who knows? I'm not an electrician. I'm an auto electrician. Right?
Yeah. I'll put some wheels on it. Hey, you might look at it then.
Yeah. Just put some tyres next to it.
But, no, what do you think of the place, man? Like,
yeah, I like it. It's good. I like the setup, man. It's very good.
Yeah. Like, this room has transformed in the last 12 months. Oh. It had a real sex dungeon sort of vibe, didn't it? Like,
somewhere you want to be filming anything.
Nah, if there's a camera in here, it's for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
You know, like.
No, it's good, man. I like it. I like the setup. It's it's awesome to see you put used to everything. Like, it just blew me away man. Just getting all this set up. Like, it's not an easy task, right? Anyone that thinks that making YouTube videos or podcasts or anything of that matter, it
takes a lot of energy, a lot of time. But like, it's time well spent, man. It's been so rewarding. In like, what I've made 4 YouTube videos, and like, I'm a perfectionist at heart, and not a perfectionist in the finer details of things, but that nothing lives up to my expectations of what's running around in my big old brain of mine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but that's just something I've got to get used to, you know? Like, there's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah, and that's it, man. And, like, the more we do it, the more we're going to improve. You know, that's the idea of the podcast, right? Is to improve as people, you know, help other people improve. You know, it's just, always about constant improvement. If you're not improving, then what's the point, right?
If you think you've crossed the finish line, there's always another hill. You turn that corner, there's another big hill, and man, I love climbing mountains now. That's like metaphorically speaking.
I'm gonna take a skip on the next mountain hike for a little bit. I'm a little bit mountain hiked out after that last trip.
Oh man, I'd like to compare it to like Kokoda or something like, because man, how many Ks did you do?
I think all up we did about 36 Ks over the 3 days.
Oh, see, that's insane. Like we did 98, but it was over 11.
Yeah.
So like more broken up.
The second day
like 10 Ks a day maybe.
Yeah, I think the second day was about 18.5, 19 Ks. So it was about 26,000 steps. But like I said, man, the killer's the altitude, right? You just can't breathe.
Yeah. So. You're like, yeah, I could walk that, but it's like, yeah, but can you do it with a mask on? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about those people that do it with like no legs and no arms and shit? Like,
it's mind blowing, man. There were some old people on our hike. Like, there were some 50, 60-year-olds that were still killing it, man. Like, yeah, granted they'd done some previous hiking, but you know, they were.
How heavy was your pack?
I didn't actually weigh my backpack. I probably should put everything in it and give it away, because I mean I was carrying a fair bit of water, so I had about 3.5, nearly 4 kilos of water on me.
Plus, you guys like your creature comforts too. I'm sure there was some extra shit in there that you probably didn't need.
Oh man, I had some cameras and some rechargeable packs for the phones, and had a solar panel to charge our camera. And,
how did that solar panel go? Did you use it?
Man.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked a little. It worked enough to like keep a battery sort of topped up. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was good.
That's
that way we always had
$400 well spent. Then I'm glad someone got some use out of it.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't bad, and I think because it was overcast, it worked a little bit better.
Yeah.
So it didn't get a lot of heat soak, so it just picked up the sun. It was good. So.
Yeah.
No, it worked well, man. I enjoyed it.
That's good.
So, I'm guessing maybe like close to 20 kilos, right? So, between rechargeable battery packs, phones, camera, solar panel, and water, I was probably close to 20 kilos.
Yeah. That's a lot of weight. I think we had about 12 to 16.
Yeah.
Kokoda.
We weren't supposed to have that much, but I mean, the easier I could make it on Ash while she was hiking, the better, right? So, she carried any rolled up jackets or anything like that we wanted to strip off while we were hiking. And
how crazy were your Sherpas?
The Sherpas,
man,
they were pretty nutty, man, and they live for it. Like it's they look forward to it every time they go up that mountain. And I mean, we got to the top and we were like, oh, thank God, we're going back down now. But the whole way there, we had a guide. His name was Chiska, and Chiska used to love finding new paths. So we'd be cruising along a countryside and along the path, and then all of a sudden you'd see him just dart across the side of a mountain and up over a hill and then disappear off into the distance, and then he'd just go off by himself.
Oh, right? Really?
Yeah, so he'd just go trying to find new paths. And you know, quicker ways back to town if someone got injured or something like that, right? They just want to map out the area. So we'd be walking along and he'd just peel over a hill, you know, an hour and a half later, and be like, hey, what's taking you guys so long?
Shout out to Chiska.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He sounds tight.
Yeah, he used to be a chef. So he's a professional chef, and then started doing tour guides, and fell in love with climbing the mountain and hasn't stopped since. So
yeah.
It's a pretty cool way to live your life, man.
Oh man. Just makes you think, like, shit, am I doing the right thing? Like, man, I want to go climb some mountains now.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. What do you reckon, mate? 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds like a good time. We might call it wraps for now. And
I'm sweating, man. Like, I'm drowning over here.
Yeah.
I'm a sweaty boy. Actually, man, we said we're going to stop, but we're going to keep going. Last night, I went to the circus, right?
Yeah.
And it was dope.
Yeah, loved it.
Man, like, I think me and my dad enjoyed it the most out of everyone.
Yeah.
Like, we were just smiles from ear to ear, like, looking at each other like, how sick is this? But, man, I was a sweaty boy, eh? Like, I was sitting there.
It's getting hot in that tent.
Oh, man, I was front row and just like, I was nervous for all the shit going on, man. Like,
all the motorbikes whizzing around in cages.
Motorbikes and like trapeze artists and like, I don't know, like
giving you Batman or Robin flashbacks.
Like, you know how like observant I am, and I'm watching this guy, man, and I swear to God, he, like, it was not part of the act. Like, he stacked it hard. He was like going around this pendulum thing, and then like pulled out a skipping rope and was like skipping while this pendulum was going around. Yeah. And he tripped.
Did he hurt himself?
No, well, he sort of grabbed the pole and like swung back inside and sort of just like went like that, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, that wasn't part of the act, man. Like, I see through your shenaniganery. Like,
I see you.
Yeah, I see you. I know what's going on there. But man, what an experience! Like, what an experience, man. Like, I didn't want to go to the circus. I was sitting here at home contemplating, like, I'm just gonna call it off. Like, bugger, I'm not gonna go. Like, for no reason at all. Yeah. I went and had a dope time.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love it.
Yeah, never say no.
No, that's it, man. You can't. No. You miss out on all the best bits of life, right? If you say no.
100%. Oh man, thanks for coming around, and
it's alright, bud.
Thanks for coming around and talking your mind.
Yeah, we'll hopefully be a little bit not scripted, but be a little bit more on topic. Yeah.
Oh man, I had fun either way.
Yeah, it's good. It's good catching up. It's good having a chat and sharing some life experiences that, you know, hopefully some people can enjoy.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, everyone at home, and hopefully see you in, I think, 2 weeks. Like, so we're going to record 4 at least to give us some time. So for one episode every 2 weeks. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be like an 8-week forecast. Don't know when the first one will come out. It could be like 2025 or something, like. Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, if you're listening, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.